Picture this: a relatively obscure company in South Korea, operating quietly for decades, suddenly finds itself at the epicenter of a global medical revolution. Its headquarters, nestled in the upscale district of Gangnam-gu in Seoul, becomes a buzzing nerve center, fielding urgent requests from pharmaceutical titans in Boston, San Diego, and the heart of Silicon Valley. In conference rooms and over late-night calls, the world's leading biotech executives are clamoring, not just for a piece of this company's time, but for its signature on contracts worth tens of millions of dollars. What is the driving force behind this meteoric rise? Why has an industry, once dominated by European and American giants, turned its gaze eastward to this specific South Korean firm? To understand this remarkable turn of events, we need to journey into the world of oligonucleotide therapeutics. Now that's a mouthful, but this field is quietly upending the very way we confront disease. Oligonucleotides are short synthetic strands of genetic material, essentially custom-built pieces of DNA or RNA. However, these aren't just any genetic fragments. They are engineered with pinpoint precision to locate and silence faulty genes, correct genetic errors, and even modulate the way genes are expressed within our bodies. This technology is at the heart of the new RNA medicine revolution, which has given us treatments for diseases that, until recently, were deemed incurable. These molecules are the backbone of a new generation of therapies, targeting an astounding array of illnesses, from cardiovascular disease, still the #1 killer worldwide, to rare metabolic disorders, neurodegenerative diseases like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and even certain types of cancer. Oligonucleotide drugs offer the promise of treating conditions at their genetic root, rather than simply alleviating symptoms. For millions around the globe, this is not just scientific progress. It is the promise of hope where none existed before. Enter ST Pharm, a company with origins stretching back to the late 20th century. For much of its existence, ST Pharm flew under the radar as a contract development and manufacturing organization, known in the industry as a CDMO. Its role was to quietly produce custom molecules for larger, often better-known pharmaceutical companies. For years, ST Pharm's contribution to the global medicine supply chain was significant, but largely invisible to the public eye. The rationale behind this bold move was clear. As the demand for RNA-based medicines exploded, so too did the need for reliable, high-quality oligonucleotide active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. These are the foundational building blocks for RNA drugs, and their purity, consistency, and scalability are crucial for regulatory approval and patient safety. Recognizing this, ST Pharm bet big on scaling up, building new state-of-the-art facilities, upgrading its technology platforms, and recruiting world-class scientific talent from across the globe. But the success story does not stop there. The company's order backlog, a key industry metric that signals future revenue, has skyrocketed. At the close of the previous year, ST Pharm's backlog stood at just over 232 billion Korean won. By the midpoint of 2025, this figure had surged past 443 billion won, representing an astonishing jump of over 90% in less than 1 year. Industry analysts project that by the end of 2024, ST Pharm's oligonucleotide API orders could exceed 500 million United States dollars, a figure that would have seemed unattainable just a few years ago. How did this transformation happen so quickly? The answer lies in a blend of scientific innovation, strategic risk-taking, and a keen understanding of global market dynamics. At recent industry gatherings, such as the prestigious BIO-USA conference in Boston, ST Pharm's presence was impossible to ignore. The company's representatives held more than 70 partnering meetings with prospective clients, showcasing not just their production prowess, but their deep expertise in navigating the regulatory and technical challenges unique to oligonucleotide manufacturing. As one company executive put it, "Our specialized knowledge in the oligonucleotide CDMO field allows us to deliver truly differentiated production services for partners worldwide." Chris S. Choi, Senior Vice President at ST Pharm, has been particularly vocal about the company's ambitions. He highlighted that the new Oligo Plant 2, set to be inaugurated in early September, is designed to offer unprecedented flexibility in both production schedules and technological capabilities. This facility is equipped with the latest automation, real-time monitoring, and integrated quality control systems, allowing ST Pharm to rapidly pivot between different types of oligonucleotide products and scale up production volumes with minimal downtime. In Choi's words, Oligo Plant 2 will empower us to meet the evolving needs of next-generation RNA therapeutics, ensuring that innovation is never held back by manufacturing bottlenecks. Yet beneath this surface-level triumph, a high-stakes dilemma unfolds. Demand for oligonucleotide APIs is not just growing, it is exploding. The global market for these specialized molecules has been propelled by a wave of new therapies targeting cardiovascular, infectious, and metabolic diseases. At the same time, the COVID pandemic and subsequent health crises have exposed vulnerabilities in pharmaceutical supply chains, making reliability and scalability more important than ever before. For ST Pharm, the challenge is to ramp up production at a pace rarely seen in the industry, all while navigating fierce international competition and increasingly stringent regulatory frameworks like the United States Biosecure Act. As ST Pharm prepares to unveil its second oligonucleotide plant, a critical question looms. Can it deliver on these enormous expectations, or will it be overwhelmed by the logistical, regulatory, and competitive pressures mounting on all sides? The stakes are enormous, not only for the company itself, but for the future of gene-based medicine. Let's zoom out for a moment and examine the broader context. The history of biotechnology is filled with stories of companies that soared on the wings of breakthrough science, only to stumble when faced with the harsh realities of large-scale manufacturing and global distribution. In the late 20th century, Genentech revolutionized the diabetes market with synthetic insulin, but it was their ability to build robust production facilities that secured their place in pharmaceutical history. In the early 2000s, companies like Gilead Sciences and Amgen turned novel molecular discoveries into life-saving treatments by mastering the art of scaling up. Today, ST Pharm is attempting to walk that same tightrope. Its rapid expansion is not without risk. Scaling production at such a blistering pace means grappling with supply chain complexities, potential disruptions in raw material sourcing, and the ever-present need to upgrade technology to remain ahead of the curve. Even the slightest misstep can lead to costly delays, regulatory setbacks, or lost market share. Competitors from Europe and North America, many of whom have decades of experience and deep pockets, are not standing still. They are investing heavily in their own oligonucleotide production capabilities, hoping to maintain their grip on this lucrative segment of the pharmaceutical industry. Yet, opportunity beckons ever more strongly. Perhaps the most intriguing development is ST Pharm's push into CRISPR-guide RNA manufacturing, the cutting edge of gene editing technology. The CRISPR system, which allows for the precise editing of genetic material, has opened up entirely new frontiers in medicine. From curing inherited genetic disorders to developing therapies for cancer and viral infections, CRISPR-based treatments represent the next frontier in personalized medicine. However, these therapies depend on a steady, high-quality supply of guide RNA molecules, precisely the kind of product ST Pharm is now poised to deliver. If the company can establish itself as the go-to supplier for CRISPR components, it could become indispensable to gene editing pioneers and pharmaceutical giants alike. Moreover, regulatory changes in the United States and Europe are shifting more contracts towards trusted suppliers outside of China, further opening the door for South Korean and other Asian manufacturers with proven track records. ST Pharm's commitment to sustainable manufacturing practices, such as reducing solvent waste, optimizing energy usage, and minimizing its environmental footprint, has also caught the attention of multinational partners seeking to align with the growing push for greener pharmaceuticals. The scale of ST Pharm's ambitions is matched only by the scale of the market opportunity. The global market for oligonucleotide therapeutics is projected to grow at a compound annual rate exceeding 20% over the next 5 years. This surge is driven by the rapid approval of new RNA-based drugs for conditions ranging from spinal muscular atrophy to cholesterol disorders. Already, industry analysts estimate that the market for oligonucleotide APIs could surpass several $billion annually by the end of the current decade. For ST Pharm, capturing even a modest share of this market could translate into exponential growth and lasting influence. But what does this all mean for the company's future and for the global healthcare landscape? If ST Pharm can successfully navigate the treacherous waters of scaling up, securing new blockbuster contracts, and staying ahead of regulatory changes, it stands to become not just a regional leader, but a global powerhouse. As one executive recently observed, innovation must always be matched by flawless execution. Our challenge is not just to invent, but to deliver. again and again. For investors and industry watchers, the rise of ST Pharm is a lesson in the importance of timing, strategic risk-taking, and behind-the-scenes expertise. Companies that quietly build infrastructure and master the unglamorous details of large-scale manufacturing can end up driving the most profound changes in medicine. For patients and healthcare providers, the implications are even greater. A world in which therapies can be produced more rapidly, at lower cost, and with greater precision means that life-saving treatments could reach more people, in more places, faster than ever before. Let's also consider the broader socioeconomic impact. South Korea's ascent as a biotech manufacturing hub is reshaping the global pharmaceutical supply chain. Once known primarily for its prowess in consumer electronics and automotive engineering, the nation is now staking a claim in the high-value world of biopharmaceuticals. This transition is the result of years of government support, investments in education and research, and a culture that prizes innovation and adaptability. As ST Pharm and its peers expand, they are creating high-skilled jobs, fostering scientific collaboration, and inspiring a new generation of biomedical entrepreneurs across Asia. But with great opportunity comes great responsibility. The race to dominate the oligonucleotide and gene therapy market is not just about profit margins and shareholder returns. It is about ensuring that critical medicines are produced safely, ethically, and sustainably. As the world faces ongoing challenges, be it new pandemics, rising chronic disease rates, or the threat of antimicrobial resistance, companies like ST Pharm will play a decisive role in shaping how quickly and effectively we can respond. So, as ST Pharm stands at this pivotal crossroads, what does the future hold? The completion of its second oligonucleotide plant, scheduled for early September, marks more than just a milestone in construction. It is a symbol of the company's transformation from a specialized oligonucleotide CDMO into a full-spectrum gene therapy powerhouse. This bold leap could disrupt the established order in RNA and gene-based medicines, forcing industry giants to rethink their strategies and opening the door to new forms of scientific collaboration. There is no shortage of intrigue surrounding ST Pharm's next moves. Its dramatic surge in orders, leaping over 90% in less than a year, signals a hungry market, desperate for reliable suppliers. However, this rapid growth brings with it significant risks, logistical headaches, supply chain vulnerabilities, and the constant pressure to upgrade technology and processes. Industry veterans caution that the global landscape is shifting rapidly, with European and North American competitors investing heavily to maintain their dominance. Yet ST Pharm's strategic expansion into CRISPR-guide RNA manufacturing could be a game-changer. If the company secures additional blockbuster drug deals, such as providing APIs for leading treatments in HIV, cardiovascular disease, or rare genetic disorders, it could dramatically boost its market share and cement its reputation as a critical partner for the world's top pharmaceutical innovators. Regulatory shifts, like the United States Biosecure Act, are already steering more contracts towards trusted suppliers outside China, and ST Pharm is perfectly positioned to benefit from this trend. But perhaps the most important lesson from ST Pharm's rise is the power of agility. The company's ability to combine the rigor of traditional pharmaceutical manufacturing with the speed and adaptability of a startup may be its greatest asset. By embracing new technologies, streamlining its supply chain, and fostering a culture of continuous improvement, ST Pharm has shown that it is possible to outpace even the most entrenched industry titans. For anyone following the future of healthcare, this story is a powerful reminder that logistics and supply chains are not just technical details. They are the invisible engines that determine which treatments reach patients and how quickly. The next big breakthrough in gene editing or RNA drugs may only be possible because a company like ST Pharm scaled up at the right time in the right place with the right partners. In the end, can ST Pharm overcome the immense logistical, regulatory, and competitive challenges that lie ahead? If the past year is any indication, the answer is a cautious but confident yes. The company's order backlog has soared, contracts with major biotech firms are stacking up, and its new facility is coming online just as the global market for RNA and gene therapies is set to explode. But perhaps the biggest secret to ST Pharm's success is its relentless focus on execution. In a world where innovation is often celebrated, but operational excellence is overlooked, ST Pharm's disciplined approach to scaling up may well prove to be its greatest advantage. If you found this deep dive into global biotech fascinating, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share your thoughts in the comments below, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a story where economics meets cutting-edge technology. What do you think? Will ST Pharm become the next global giant in gene medicine? The race